All right. So we're here. This is the last closing event of Wow SoFlo. It's been an amazing week, and now you get to close it off with a virtual 5K. I'll be co-hosting with Kimmy B. She's on with us, and she's gonna help get you guys from the start line to the finish line. This is a 5K run that we refer to as virtual, but there's nothing virtual about what you're about to do, because you've had an amazing week of running and fitness and mindfulness and all sorts of things together with Wow SoFlo and Mind Body Social. I did want to take a quick moment before I let Kimmy kind of just completely take over, because she's got more energy than anyone else. Or maybe you guys have have as much energy. But I do want to thank our partners, Body Armor, Nike Miami, Michelob Ultra, T-Mobile, Deliver Lean, Publix, Baptist Health, Florida Blue, and of course, Mind Body Social. Hopefully, this is the first of many Wow SoFlo series weeks, and I think we fed off of this energy all week long, and we want to make sure we give it back to you here as you cross that start line. So I know some of you guys are warming up and kind of clicking those watches, getting yourselves ready. Give yourselves another 5 minutes or so we can talk you up a little and warm up a little here, and then you'll lace those shoes and head out for your 5K run. Hopefully you've got a safe route planned, and you know where you're headed, and that's it. So Kimmy, what's up?
Frankie, well, first of all, I just want to say shout out to Mind Body Social. I mean, what started off as a vision has turned into reality, and how fantastic has Wow SoFlo been? First of all, a week of wellness, and that couldn't be truer, or the truest statement that I've heard. I've been following along, via the website, and wow, meditation, yoga, acro yoga. We had sunset yoga in the Everglades. Oh my goodness. We've had Zumba classes with some of the most well-known Zumba instructors on the planet. That's literally, not figuratively. I'm not taking creative license when I say that. You, Frankie, are the creator of the Miami Marathon, for heaven's sakes. Like, this is who people have been able to run with all week long. Again, everything has been for free, thanks to that amazing lineup of partners you mentioned. Again, big shout out to T-Mobile, especially the title partner of Wow SoFlo. But talk to me about the vision for this, Frankie, and why you just knew, as a runner, as probably one of the most well-known runners in South Florida, why you knew you had to be a part of this particular event, or week of events, I should say.
Well, I think, Luis and Jose Antonio and the creators behind Mind Body Social, when they first talked to me a little bit about it, what really caught my attention is that this was going to be open and free to everyone. I think that thanks to all the partners that they brought on board, they were able to make that a reality. And that's what I believe running is. It's a very inclusive, especially the training leading up to races should be something that everyone has access to. That's why I put on all these run clubs and all sorts of things around town. But that got me excited, I gotta say. And then anything creative at this point, I wanted to give it a shot, and it seems like they've done an amazing job to all the instructors and all the leaders and everyone I've had a chance to interact seems to have made it all work. So thank you, Kimmy, for adding all that energy to it. It's awesome. These iconic locations and just how South Florida they made it. I love my community, very local, and that's what they did. They really brought, they made it more real. Let's just say.
I was going to say, I think too, for a lot of us just dealing with 2020, right, and the craziness that it's brought, we haven't been able to take advantage of our community in the ways that I think a lot of us would, right? So many things have been shut down. And let's be honest, Frankie, a lot of us don't take advantage of it even in a non-COVID year. We've got these gorgeous parks. We've got these beautiful pathways. I mean, Florida is nature embodied. I know that that can sound crazy to some people listening that maybe never leave the Biscayne corridor, but we've got the Everglades. We've got, amazing running trails in Southwest Miami-Dade County. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're out off of Old Cutler in some of those places, there's the Fairchild Botanical Gardens, you've got Biscaya, we've got Key Biscayne, we've got different boardwalks and broadwalks to run up here in Hollywood. If you're down there on Miami Beach, running kind of around South Point and just along the iconic Miami Beach, there's so many great places, not just to take advantage of, the locale and the beauty, but also to really prioritize, your health and your wellness, both physical and mental. And that's something that I don't think a lot of us stop down enough to do.
That's right. That's right. The connection that you made this week is to be celebrated. You connected mind, you connected your body, you connected to your community, to your outdoors. So definitely, you deserve a big pat in the back. So congrats to you all. Those of you that are ready to go,
yes.
I want to count you guys down here together with Kimmy. We know you're eager to start that 5K. Hopefully you've warmed up for a bit. We're about 5 minutes into this. Just to give you a heads up, we will be kind of guiding you and cheering you along, but everyone's going to run at their own pace. That's the beauty of these virtual runs. So you may finish before we're done talking, or you may continue by the time we're done, but that's okay. I want you to enjoy it. I'll be motivating you along the way, and we'll be motivating you along the way and talking a little bit more about what WOW SoFlo meant to us. And I think Lewis might join us on this run as well to talk a little bit about his vision and how he's felt overall about this week. So I guess like they say, let's get you on your marks out there, and let's make this feel as real as possible.
I love it. I'm stretching right now. I promise you I am.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Right about now, you may have heard the national anthem. You've heard some announcements. If this was, an in-person race, as they say, everyone's a little nervous. You're looking over and waiting for that timer to give the final instructions. And that race director in this case will be me. I know I've been your coach all week long, but today I will take over and be your race director for a second or two here. So runners, on your marks. And I'll let Kimmy yell the big word. On your mark, get set. Let's go, Kimmy.
Go!
Awesome. So I don't know if you guys saw her. You saw her arm up and everything. I'm sure you guys saw her out there.
I really did do that too.
Yeah. Make sure you pace yourself. I know Kimmy sent you guys off, and that was some of you guys are darting out. Remember, it's a 5K. This is 3.1 miles, and you got to respect the distance. Although you've trained and you've ramped up to this, just make sure you know that you've got to operate within your reasonable pace. So Kimmy, you're a South Florida icon and certainly someone that promotes all things good about South Florida. Tell us a little bit more about what you experienced during the week, because I know you had a couple good moments out there with SoFlo.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been incredible. Again, just to be able to kind of, first of all, my hat's off. I can't stress enough the time and the energy and the passion that Mind Body Social put into putting together this first annual WOW SoFlo, or I should say this first ever, because I know it's going to happen much more than once a year, WOW SoFlo event. The website was so easy to navigate, the different events that they had set up, whether you were a beginner as far as fitness goes, or you're a person that runs every single day like yourself, Frankie. There was something for all of us. And the thing that I love the most about being able to be connected but still do things at your own pace is that you don't feel some of that anxiety that would feel like, I'm a horrible runner. I participate in I would say a good 5 or 6 5Ks a year, usually, well, they're always for charity. but that's not
Right.
like my strong suit. You know what I mean? It's not where I excel as far as physical fitness goes, but I do love the camaraderie about it. But you can feel a way when you're running next to marathoners or people who do this, and it's their passion. Whereas, with Wow SoFlo, I got to hear you talk. You had these amazing guests on. Shout out to Marcello. And it was me being able to participate on my own time at my own pace. You know what I mean? But still feeling connected to that bigger thing. That's why we do some of these big events. Like you said, even today, like that nervousness as you were talking us through the start of this virtual 5K, I really did feel like I was at a race, whether it was the Wings for Life World Run or, the March for Our Lives. There's so many, the Miami Marathon. There's so many great, ways to come together in a normal year. And I think Wow SoFlo kind of brought some of that back. But again, for the beginners, for the folks that are maybe a little intimidated, it made it very accessible. And I think that that's something that's so important about getting more people involved in their personal health and wellness, is making it accessible and taking away that intimidation factor, right? That a lot of us can find when we go into a gym, or I would assume even in joining a running club.
Yep. No, that's certainly true. And I think that the other point to celebrate here is that besides the connection and so forth that you've had with others, is the connection you've had with yourself.
Yes.
There's that gives you that confidence, so you can go out there and feel that you have not only the right, but the drive to join a group, to join a race, to go to the gym with a smile, to go to a yoga class and so forth. Now, I think hopefully you discovered this new connection. And I use the word discover because I think through running and through physical fitness and health and everything that was done this week, mental health and so forth, there's this discovery that you have this body that you have to take care of. And it's some folks have neglected it for however many years or however many weeks or months. And I think now more than ever, it's a reminder that you have this vehicle you have to protect. And my friends at Nike, and obviously being Nike Miami as a partner of ours, I have to remind people what one of the Nike founders says often, which is, if you have an athlete, you have a body, you're an athlete. Yeah. And you guys can call yourselves athletes at the end of this week, especially those that are running today's virtual run. So I know you can see probably some of you should be approaching that first mile, by the way, or past it already. I think if you're running real fast, just want to remind you, Kimmy, that they're still out there.
I was gonna say, so, I'm not. I'm taking my time. So to everybody that's taking their time, like me, we see you too. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the sights around you.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's past that mile mark, you're probably running about 5-6 minute miles, which we do know we have a few here in South Florida.
They're running pretty
here.
fast, Frankie.
What about Kimmy? What's your 5K time? So you got them something to work for.
Really? Are you trying to embarrass me right now? Like, let me put it to you this way. I usually will finish a 5K in, let's say, 40 minutes. Like, and sometimes I can come in around 38, you know what I'm saying? 35, 38, if I'm pushing myself. I've done some runs and I'm blown away. Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital does, or they used to do the Tour de Broward every year. Yeah. And there was one young man that used to run it, and I'm sure he still does. I haven't been out to it in the last year or so. And he was a heart transplant kid. Yep. He had a heart transplant at Joe DiMaggio, and he does like a 22-minute 5K, and he beats the adults, and he's like 10 or 12. And I got to tell you, every year I'm like, okay, Kim, you really need to you're going to make yourself a little plan here, because this little boy is smoking people, and it's so inspiring and it's so motivating. And I have to tell you, honestly, I'm so envious of runners, of people who are passionate about running, because when you talk to them about it, Frankie, their faces light up when they think about being on the road, when they think about running. It's like it just transports them to another place.
Yep. That is, that's why I invite so many people to go out to finish lines, because they might be inspired by just the looks of people's faces. So I hope, speaking of faces, that you guys have a smile out while you're out doing this morning, and you're waving at other people so that they can kind of scratch their head and say, you know what, I think I'm going to go for a run too. Whether it's a car passing by or maybe another runner, make sure you wave out there and be friendly. I know that you've got folks in masks and so forth, but they can see you smiling and vice versa. I did want to remind everybody that Michelob Ultra, very dear friends of mine over there. I had a chance to coach Team 305 this past year. Michelob Ultra is hosting virtual happy hours, if you will, after everything we've done along this week. So today, after this run, or tomorrow, actually tomorrow, this is the last one, but I should say, I've been saying this all week long, so I gotta make sure I tailor this one. But you share a photo on Instagram with a Michelob Ultra and tag MindBody Social and Michelob Ultra, and you want to tag me, that works also. And you will receive a towel or water bottle from Michelob Ultra. And then at the end of all this, we're going to announce 3 winners that will be having a chance to win grand prizes such as a Michelob Ultra cooler and a $200 gift card. So pretty cool stuff to be part of a virtual happy hour.
Also, can I just shout out Michelob Ultra too, because I have a few friends that are actually ambassadors for them because of running. Like Michelob Ultra, they're huge supporters of the amateur, runners out there that just are passionate about running. And they're very accessible. Like they love to see you post their product after a hard run, and they really have created their own little running community themselves. So it's very cool to see that, and to see a product that not only supports an event like WOW South Florida or like WOW SoFlo, but a product that supports local runners too. They're not just concerned with attaching, their name to big, A-list athletes. They're concerned with, the everyday runner in a Miami, in a Fort Lauderdale, in a Palm Beach. And I think that that's just so cool.
Yep. No, they definitely support the lifestyle. And I think runners in Dade County and this whole South Florida area have felt their presence these last couple of years. So I want to make sure we thank them for jumping on board here. I remind those runners that are out there, we talked a lot during the week about your form, about your effort, being hyper aware of those things. You are supposed to be, feeling right about now, a little bit of that doubt. And I want to remind you that you got to keep making micro decisions throughout the run. It's not just one decision, but throughout this virtual race, to push yourself. You want to maybe explore a little further your why and why you're actually pushing. Make sure nothing's hurting. If that's the case, you want to pull back and it's okay to walk, or it's okay to trot and take it easy. Don't be a slave to your watch. Just enjoy the scenery and enjoy the run. I know we're calling it a virtual 5K, and immediately everybody's competitive side comes out, but at the end of the day, we're just looking for that best version of you. So congrats to those that took the start line and are doing so well so far.
Definitely.
Go for it, Kimmy. I cheer these people on. I know that's
I was going to say, I think I want to shout out everybody who's running on the beach right now. If you're running in your neighborhood, if you've gone to a park and you're just running around a local track, maybe you're in, Miami Gardens, maybe you're in Coral Gables, maybe you're on Miami Beach or North Miami, Broward County. You guys have a ton of beautiful parks too. Maybe you're running, somewhere down south. Obviously, to Frankie's point earlier, hopefully you planned out a safe course. But I know that we also can tag folks. So if you are able to multitask while you run your quote unquote virtual 5K, we would love to see the places that you're running. So you can always tag us at mind_body_social. You can use hashtag WOW SoFlo. Again, I think it'd be really cool for us to be able to see some of the places where people are participating, just so that we can continue to represent our beautiful South Florida community. Frankie, I also wanted to ask you, why do you run? Like, what is your why?
Why do I run? The good thing about that is that I'm constantly changing the answer to that. Right now, I have to say that I run as a reminder of, I have to say, like, all the good things that are in the world. All my good memories have come from, I should say all of them, but many of my good memories have come from running, and we're living in some divisive times and some not so exciting days, past us with this pandemic. So I tend to run right now just as a gentle reminder of all the good stuff, and hopefully all the good stuff we will see up ahead. I know this week's been a good example of that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much why I run right now, and maybe in a couple weeks might be a different reason, but for now, that's why I keep running. And I tell people all the time, your why might change, even during a race, your why might change. So. But that's a good question. I appreciate that. And you talked about tagging, and I want to remind people about tagging for something. Everyone who participates in at least 5 of the sessions from the WOW SoFlo series this week, and you can go back to them, by the way, WowSoFlo.com.
That's right.
And you can see these sessions. Most of them are still up, but anyone who takes part in 5 of them and actually tags their photo or a screenshot of their session with the hashtag WOW MVP will get a t-shirt, T-Mobile Week of Wellness MVP t-shirt. Pretty cool. I got one actually on my Instagram. You want to check it out at Frankie Ruiz. And then also don't forget to tag Mind Body Social as if not, you won't get your actual shirt. They're the ones that'll make it happen. So thanks to T-Mobile for making this whole week happen. And thank you for doing this shirt giveaway. All runners love shirts, and we all love free stuff.
It's kind of like your bragging rights, right? Like your medals, and then your shirts that you get from these different races. It's a great way to kind of take yourself down memory lane, I'm sure.
That's right.
Also, I do want to point out that while running is amazing, and I know it's so many people's outlet, the thing that I loved the most about WOW SoFlo was the fact that there was, again, something for everybody, and everything was free, whether it was, yoga, we had our guided runs with you and whatever special guest you had that particular day. And let me tell you something, they've all been amazing. We had Pilates, we had HIIT workouts, which are, high intensity interval training workouts. We had Zumba workouts. We had meditation sessions. It was just such a great way to even try out new workouts and not break the bank, because again, everything was free. And I know I got a chance to talk with Luis and of course with Jose about that. And that was another big thing, is that people, are on Instagram and we see all these great, workouts and ways to stay healthy and fit. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't have $40 to drop on one class, right? Yeah. Especially if we don't know if we're going to love it or not. And that was what was so special about WOW SoFlo, is that you could try Pilates without having to drive to a Pilates studio. You could do it from the comfort of your own home, your balcony, the beach, wherever you wanted to be. And you could see if you really actually had a taste for it. I could run with you, Frankie. Right. And it's different when you run with a running coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. and you're talking me through it, and you're walking me through it, and you're encouraging me to breathe and to stay hydrated, and, to make sure that I'm taking my body's temperature, not just physically, but really, being in the moment and seeing how my body is feeling while I'm running. And that changes your experience. Because sometimes when you run by yourself, right, you're like, ow, this hurts. I don't know why. Oh, I'm out of breath. This is horrible. And then you never want to do it again. But if you have somebody there coaching you through it, and you're able to push through that barrier, right, because of your voice encouraging me on, now I might fall in love with running.
Yep. No, you definitely hit the nail on the head with all that, for sure. I think about the fact that all this was offered and we're saying free, but most people here earned this because they had to earn their sweat, and they had to earn their so I get it. Maybe you didn't pay in the monetary wallet sense of it, but you definitely you definitely supported it with your sweat equity. And that being said, make sure that if you are on the run right now, you pay attention to your hydration. We talked during this week a lot about Body Armor sports drink. And if you have it now, it'd be great to take a sip. If not, after the run, visit Publix, which is also one of our sponsors, a good way to tie it in, and pick up a bottle of or two of Body Armor. So good stuff there. We actually talked a lot about hydration. With my wife, actually, Carla. She's a new second. I don't know how they say this, but we just had our second baby. So last week,
she's a two-time mommy.
Two-time mommy. There you go. So on Wednesday with this week, we actually talked a lot with her about hydration. She's representing Baptist Health, which is another amazing partner of health and wellness and fitness, and specifically running through the run clubs here in Miami-Dade County in South Florida. So big thanks to them and all of those partners I just mentioned. You guys should be most people should be past the halfway mark.
Yeah.
And if you're not, that's okay. But I mean, we've been talking enough here. Hopefully we propelled you along, and you're halfway through this 5K journey of yours. And we're along for the ride, but we're not sweating as much as you guys are today. So congrats to you guys thus far. All right, I got I don't know. There's a few moments here that have stuck out with me. You mentioned the Everglades. I did want to ask you about that Everglades thing. What did you think about? I mean, you mentioned that we live here in Miami, and most of us don't even realize that we have this amazing national park in our backyard. And the folks at Mind Body Social actually did something that that showcased it, and we don't see that too often, right?
I literally had to repost all of those pictures in my Insta story because it was so incredible. They had 2 airboats. Each one had a yoga instructor on it. They were out in the real life Everglades doing yoga as the sun was setting. And like their last pose was like together on the very, very tops of the airboats facing each other. It was so incredible. I was thinking, God, you've got to have really good balance, right? To be on an airboat doing yoga in the Everglades. But it was just so beautiful. And that's I think the true testament to what, exercise is about, especially when you're talking about things like yoga, meditation, Pilates, anytime that you can really center yourself and be one with nature, be one with your surroundings, and kind of clear the mechanism, so to speak, clear everything else away and just focus on yourself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that oneness and really being aware and being present. And that's exactly what that looked like, right? Like you're watching it, and it was just like, okay, I want to take care of me. I want to do things like this for myself.
That's right. And let me tell you why I brought that up, Kimmy. I brought that up because the creativity behind this requires us to meet the creator of this week, or one of the creators of this week. And we just so happen to be that we bumped into him on this virtual 5K right now.
I know.
So Luis, are you there?
Hi guys, how are you? I'm here.
Hi, Luis, that was your idea, so I want to make sure. I think it was part of your idea, right? I want to make sure that there's a good segue there, that we introduce this grand idea that made this week even more amazing. So, Luis, all yours.
Totally. Thank you.
Welcome to this journey with these 5K runners.
Thank you very much, and a big shout out to everyone running right now, and to everyone who has been participating in this week of wellness and all the sessions and the activities, and what you guys were talking about, these special moments. It's definitely a good segue, but I have my personal special moment from this week. It was yesterday morning, the run that Frankie guided with Franklin Mejia. And Franklin said it was a soul run, right? And it was all about motivation, inspiration. Franklin is missing both legs, both arms, yet he's run the marathon multiple times. He swims. He's an athlete in all the senses of the word. And he said something that stuck with me, and it's I think it's my favorite moment, or one of the top 3 moments of this week. He said to himself when all of this happened to him, he said, I have to be unstoppable. And if you go like in our Instagram, or if you look him up on his Instagram, and you see him, and for someone like him to say, like in such a determined way, I have to be unstoppable. It gives you all the energy, inspiration, motivation, and fuel you need to finish this run that you guys are at right now. And for us, we didn't know that quote from him, but that is kind of also what drove us, me and Jose Antonio, to create, Wow SoFlo. We had a couple of ideas since March with COVID and all that stuff. We had a couple of ideas, and we kind of shopped them around. We now, looking back at things, we were not determined to make them happen. We were exploring. We liked them, but we were not determined. With Wow SoFlo, from the moment that we brainstormed, and it was like a 20-minute conversation. It wasn't like days or weeks, but everything kind of like hit the nail. And the moment that we ended up knowing that we had a final product, we were determined to make it happen. We didn't know how big it was going to be or how small it was going to be, but we knew we were going to make it happen. And it was then when everything moved forward, and everyone that we were talking with and sharing the idea with were jumping on board like you have no idea. So we're so grateful for all those people. And you've mentioned the sponsors: T-Mobile, Publix, Baptist, Florida Blue, Body Armor, Nike, Michelob Ultra, the Liberlin. But we're thankful to the people who work at those companies, the teams that make those companies and that believed in our mission. Because again, it's T-Mobile, it's just a name. I hope I don't get in trouble by saying that, but it's the people who work at T-Mobile who make T-Mobile, what they are, and the team at T-Mobile that believed in our vision and wanted to support it. And same goes with every single one of those sponsors, and same on our end as well. Mind Body Social, it's nothing. It's we're a group of people. It's the people that work at Mind Body Social who made this possible, and we're so proud and thankful for all of them.
Well, Luis,
no, go for it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kim. No, go, Kim. This is the hard part about not seeing ourselves.
I know. Especially when I think everybody can talk, but I was going to say, Luis, it really is a testament to these companies putting their money where their mouth is. A lot of people talk about social responsibility. A lot of people talk about caring about the communities that they're in. I've had the opportunity to talk to both you and, of course, the Jose, and the passion and the conviction with which you talk about Mind Body Social and the transition you made from what you used to do into this new avenue of your life, and your why for creating Wow SoFlo. Right. I think it's all translating so beautifully, and it's really coming to fruition. And that has just got to feel so incredible. Like, your Insta stories are ridiculous this week. You know what I mean? It's just photo after, and it's not you guys. It's literally, you're just reposting all of these incredible people, whether they're the instructors or the folks that are taking advantage of everything you're providing. And that's really got to feel. And if it doesn't, I'm going to tell you, it's incredible. Like, it's truly incredible. This is such an amazing gift that you have given back to your community.
Yeah, no, thank you. And it's like paying it forward, because again, we're getting the support of all these like companies and teams of people, and then all the instructors, the locations, the production, our team at the office, cameramen, editors, marketing, people on the road. Like there's over 100, maybe like 150 people, all together, right? Including the instructors, including the locations, and all that good stuff. And if it was, every single one of them made a difference and made it possible. So we're really proud, and we thank everyone for helping us make it happen, and especially you two guys.
Thank you, Luis, and thank you, Kimmy. Awesome.
It's been an honor. I mean, Frankie, and I know a lot of people wouldn't have gotten through these runs, and I'm sure you've encouraged some folks, including myself, that weren't necessarily runners before, because I'm sure some people came on to Wow SoFlo to check out the yoga because they're yoga, they're yogis. You have other people who came on because they love Pilates, and then maybe they wanted to try out a new instructor, or they wanted to do a little Zumba, but then they found you. And you know what I mean? And that's the beauty of an event like this, is that it comes full circle, and that's also the beauty of health and wellness. It's something that we can all connect on, whether it's from the perspective of ourselves, or wanting to share this information with the people that we love because we want them to be their best self. You know, it's such an empowering thing, and it sounds so silly, and I know that it sounds so like, you know, whatever, but it's the truth. When you feel good, when you're prioritizing yourself and you feel good, things just fall into place different.
Yeah. And the people around you start feeling that, right?
Yes.
And you know, whether it's your family, your partner, your coworkers, or the person at the grocery store at Publix, you know, the cashier
Your energy
will feel that, and then you know, start building a happier and healthier community, and that's what, you know, what we want to do.
That's right. I want to remind everyone that is out there running. I want to congratulate those of you that have already finished, and I want to remind those that are still at it that we're still here for you, and we're watching you run. Hopefully you're
doing
form
incredible.
looks good. Yeah, hopefully your form looks good, and your posture is tall, and everything we addressed this week, you're kind of bringing it all together and enjoying that run using the instructions you were given earlier. I do think that, and I have to now here speak to, I guess, everyone that participated in something active this particular week, which just numbers are great and vast. That prior to this pandemic, some of us weren't as active, and then now you've taken up this new, you know, lifestyle. I encourage you to bring others on board with you, because they're going to help you stay in it, just like you know, WOW SoFlo helped you stay in it. You got to help others now do the same. So I hope you guys are paying this forward, you know, on behalf of all these partners that have already invested in you. Now it's your turn to invest in others as well. So I'm proud to say that we're part of you know, of your investment. So
100%. And I also want to point out too, like, this is a great community to join. If you're listening to this podcast, maybe because you're a runner and you know Frankie, or maybe somebody told you about WOW SoFlo, please check out mind_body_social, because just because WOW SoFlo is ending, this week of wellness is ending, does not mean the community stops existing, right? And all of these instructors that have been partnered up with us all week long are all on social media, so you can continue to engage with them. Frankie's on Instagram, that is for sure. He's got run clubs. He's the co-founder of the Miami Marathon. And that really is the purpose of Mind Body Social in a nutshell, isn't it, Luis? Like, to create this socially, physically, mentally aware community.
Of course, and going back to supporting each other, all the instructors that we feature, or that we have the luck to collaborate with, we want to make sure that we feature them in the best possible way, and this works as a platform for them to basically get, you know, more clients, more people that follow them and sign up to their studios or their private practices, whether it's online or in person. Some instructors, again, it's a 360, right? Because some instructors actually help us get to their to their audience, because they have millions of followers already, et cetera, et cetera. But we try, but for real, we try to balance things out, and we try to give opportunity to everyone, and to help each other out. I mean, we're not in the business of being instructors ourselves, or putting up studios or anything like that. So it's the opposite. We want to feature instructors. We want to feature studios. We want to help the small businesses and the local community. At the end of the day, they're the ones who make this possible. You know,
100%. And they were hit very hard by COVID. I mean, we talk a lot about the service industry, but and these folks fall into that sector. You know, how many gyms were closed down? And it didn't matter if they had a practice of their own, or if they were personal trainers that were going to see clients. Even if you lived in half the condos, you know, in Miami or Broward County, even in your buildings, they had shut those facilities down, and you didn't have access to them in a lot of situations. And their main goal in life is to make sure, again, that we are the healthiest, fittest, most fabulous, you know, community on the planet, and they were being held back from that. So this is a fantastic way, as you said, to kind of pay that forward, again, to spread awareness for the amazing people we have in the sports, medicine, all of these different fields, right? Like, especially with instructors in all kinds of different areas of wellness and health and fitness. And you'd be surprised at how many of the biggest names in the game are located right here in South Florida. So I'm grateful to you for, for connecting all of us. But I do want to ask you, Luis, what is next? Like, where do you go from this? Because this was an amazing event. And I know you're probably like, girl,
he's going to go to bed. He's going to bed
have
next.
To rest. I was going to
next.
say, we have to rest. but it's funny because we only have a couple of days. This week, starting Monday, we have another similar, series, another week of wellness for private, for corporate, for corporate group, which is amazing. But as far as WOW goes, and this, big series that we just did, our goal is to do 4 of these next year, 1 per quarter, maybe one at towards the beginning of the year, kind of. Get those New Year resolutions going and all that stuff. And then another one, Q2, then Q3, and then and Q4 again. And I remember 3 years ago when we did our first event, or actually our second event, we had 300 people, and it was a massive success. 300 people in one park. Dancing Zumba. We're very happy, but back then, all our other events had 10 people, 5 people, some of them had 50, right? But it's the quality, it's not the quantity, right? So to be able to grow from that to tens of thousands of people that we're reaching now in this series, it's amazing. So I'm sure that's only going to just keep growing and take us to further, and we're here, we're ready for it.
Well, again, congratulations, and I'm so grateful that you included the New Hits 97.3 and the SoFlo Morning Show and myself in this phenomenal week of wellness. Frankie, again, you have inspired myself, and I'm sure many others, to give running a second try if we didn't already love it. Having your guidance and your encouragement along the way this week has been absolutely amazing. To any of the runners out there, though, that may be feeling like they're in a bit of a funk, maybe they haven't been able to run with their running club, or maybe just the whole 2020 vibe has got them down, what words would you give them to encourage them to get back on the road, or just to try to get back to their lifestyle of running and embracing everything that represents?
I think the runners that are out there that may have lost a little bit of their juice in terms of motivation need to kind of go back to running when they're ready. Let the run sort of call you back, and maybe this is that call back to you. Weather now will change a little bit. Maybe you're sitting there and the weatherman says, hey, it's 2 degrees cooler. That means that we're in winter. Get those shoes out, and that next day go out on an easy run. Go find a location, maybe one of the locations you saw this week being featured. There was stuff done on Lincoln Road. There was stuff done in the Everglades. There was stuff done at Vizcaya along Bayshore Drive. And you take your runs near some of these places that may have kind of gotten you to say, hey, you know what? I drive by that all the time, but I rarely run it, or I rarely, take the time to walk it even, so sometimes people that are former runners get back into running by slowly walking back themselves into it. So most certainly, I think this is a call back, to those runners for sure.
I mean, I'm sure it's been tough, because I know like a lot of runners run because they love that competitiveness of racing, right? They love to run the 5Ks and the 10Ks and the marathons. And a lot of those have been canceled this year, which is what's so exciting about doing this. you know, you kind of brought that back. Like today was probably the first 5K that a lot of people have run all year. It's virtual, right? But here we are talking with them, you know, encouraging them through it. And that's got to be a great feeling, especially when we haven't been able to do it IRL, you know, in real life.
That's correct. Yeah, no, I think, look, Miami Marathon, we announced the cancellation a couple of days ago, and you know, we're going to have a virtual event to go and sort of take the place. Obviously, doesn't replace it 100%, but the feedback we've gotten is that everyone's ready to do that because they're motivated to keep the spirit alive of the things that they enjoyed and the things they know that their kids will enjoy down the road. And we've got to do that as a community, come together and keep ourselves healthy and connected to the events that help us do that. So this is certainly one of those.
Yes.
And I got to remind you, we're still watching the runners come in and those walkers. I know that during the week. Yeah, there you go. That's right. About 40 minutes. About 40 minutes. That's right.
Right about now, I'm bringing it home, guys.
That's right. And that's an important point to make, which is, I know during the week I was telling everybody, don't sprint to finish your run. Well, you know what? For the race or for the virtual 5K that you guys are in now, it's okay to pick up, because tomorrow you're gonna rest and relax and recover and sort of empty that tank today, so that you finish even a little more gassed, a little more sweaty. That's okay, but you're gonna leave little to regret out there. So congrats to you all as you guys cross that finish line, wherever that may be.
100%. And Luis, I mean, again, looking back on this first WOW SoFlo event, you mentioned your highlights. What words or what maybe do you have to say to the folks that have participated and maybe this is their last event, you know, of this week, as far as, you know, you and Jose are concerned, and just how the success of this event has made you feel?
So I would say a couple of things, right? First, thank you for participating and for giving this a reason to exist. For bringing it to life with you know, it's like Frankie said at the beginning, there's nothing virtual about these runs or these workouts. Everyone's sweating, everyone's like actually doing an effort to make it happen, right? And I would ask, like, in a very honest way, for everyone who enjoyed it to just spread the word to their friends, to the people they know. It can be through private, you know, messages, WhatsApp, or it could be through social media, it could be through an email, whatever you want. We're not asking for likes on social media. We're asking for true recommendations and spreading of the word and the message, and supporting the people who supported us, whether it's the instructors. If there's someone you like, follow them, start a conversation with them, see if you can join one of their other workouts or activities, and obviously the sponsors too. You know, if you're considering you know, getting a new phone or changing your service and you don't have T-Mobile, please do. They're amazing. Publix, it's almost a no-brainer for everyone, but a good example is if you're more into like organic and natural and all, you know, those type of things, which are obviously very important, check out Publix, and their line of Green Wise products are incredible and competitive with anything else that you can find out there in regards to healthy products. Baptist Health, also, it's a no-brainer, but they have a lot more than what you usually know them for, right? Florida Blue, the same. They're amazing. Body Armor is so much better than Gatorade, and I can say it that way because that's how they promote it. They don't have artificial sweeteners. They don't have high fructose corn syrup. They're 10% coconut water. They have minerals. They're really, really good. Michelob Ultra, needless to say what the benefits of Michelob Ultra are, but you guys spoke about it. You guys spoke about it earlier. Like it's the support. It's, you know, a brand. It's not just a product. It's the support. It's what they stand for. You know. At Nike Miami, go check them out, especially the store on Lincoln Road. Everyone there is amazing. We did a session from that store, a movement meditation, on Tuesday morning. So you can check that out, and then obviously whenever you can go visit the store. And the Liverline, they're delicious, they're amazing, they're so convenient and reliable. And again, it's not a commercial. This is all like true statements. And what I ask of everyone who participated, if you enjoyed it, if you want more of this to happen, please, please, please spread the word about WOW SoFlo and support these sponsors and instructors in any way that you can.
100%. Like minds attract like minds. Energy is contagious. And you can tell that the people who have partnered with Mind Body Social on WOW SoFlo walk the walk, they talk the talk. So do all of the instructors, and everybody here. I think at the end of the day, can say they legitimately care for the South Florida community. And I think that resonated through this entire week of events. So again, I'm so grateful to you guys for putting this together. Frankie, you've been such an integral part of all of this. And especially on a week when you had to make what I'm sure is a very difficult announcement. You know what I mean? Having to cancel the Miami Marathon, which has never happened in the history of the race, is not an easy thing. But something tells me being able to connect with your community through these WOW SoFlo events has probably eased a little bit of that pain for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, most definitely. This has been a roller coaster week. My son was born, then you can say almost like my second son was canceled, and then of course we've had the great success of this week's programming through WOW SoFlo. I did want to thank you, Kimmy, and thank obviously Luis and Jose Antonio and the whole team at Mind Body Social and all those sponsors. This is a perfect way to welcome these these runners to the finish line, and say those that are still out there, we're going to be signing out, but that doesn't mean you have to keep trudging along and make it to your finish line, wherever that may be. And make it a point not to stop running after this week passes. I want to hear that you picked up, running or something else related to WOW SoFlo. So thank you, everyone. And this was great. I don't know if Kim B or Luis, you have anything else to say, but if not,
thank you.
Close.
All I have to say is thank you. And like Frankie says, don't stop.
Right, that's right.
For
Keep
sure.
running. And like Franklin Mejia says, I have to be unstoppable. If you get that in your mind, you will.
That's right.
You'll be unstoppable.
So we'll see you at the next start line.
Yes, tag us at mind_body_social. We want to see you crossing those finish lines because we're in this thing together.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you, Luis.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.